Imagine if one man could have saved millions of lives and shortened World War II by years. Yet hardly anyone knows his story. This is the true story of a genius, a man whose invention changed the course of the world forever. His name, Alan Turing. Alan Turing was born in London on June 23, 1912. It became apparent early on that he was different from other children. His childhood was not marked by athletic achievements or popularity, but by something quite different, an insatiable hunger for knowledge and understanding. While other children played outside, Alan preferred to sit indoors with books that were actually intended for adults. At only 6 years old, he reads complex texts on mathematics and natural sciences. And not only does he understand them, he thinks further, asking questions that astonish even adults. But this difference does not always make his life easy. At school, he is often misunderstood. Teachers consider him dreamy, some even strange or difficult. He finds it difficult to make friends because his thoughts revolve around things that go far beyond everyday life. But Alan does not let himself be discouraged. He realizes early on that his passion for logic and science is part of who he is. Even as a child, he develops a vision. He wants to understand the world, not just as it is now, but as it could be in the future. This unshakable will would later make him one of the greatest geniuses of his time. At the age of 23, Alan Turing became a student at the renowned University of Cambridge. There, he truly blossomed for the first time. Finally, he was in a place where extraordinary thinking was not considered strange, but valued. Alan threw himself passionately into the world of mathematics and logic. He not only thinks about existing problems, but asks questions that no one has asked before. One of these questions will later change the world. Can there be a machine that can solve any task that can be described mathematically? From this consideration, Turing develops a theoretical model that he later calls the universal machine. The basic idea? If given the right instructions, this machine could calculate anything, no matter how complex. Today, we know this vision by another name, the computer. At the time, however, hardly anyone understood the significance of his ideas. Many considered his theories too abstract, mere gimmicks. But Turing continued to think ahead, always searching for a future that he could imagine but did not yet exist. No one yet suspects that these ideas will change not only science, but also the course of world history. In 1939, World War II breaks out. Europe sinks into chaos as Nazi Germany invades more and more countries. The German war machine is precise, fast, and deadly, and a crucial part of its success is based on communication. To keep their orders secret, the Germans use a special machine, the Enigma. It encrypts messages in a way that is considered unbreakable. Every message, every order, every coordination between submarines, tanks, and aircraft is secured by this machine. And worst of all, the Enigma's settings change every day. Even if a code were cracked once, it would be useless the next morning. For the Allies, this is a nightmare. Without access to German radio messages, they are fighting in the dark. They do not know where submarines will strike, where troops will attack, or what strategy the Germans are pursuing. Every day, ships are sunk, entire convoys are destroyed, and thousands of soldiers and civilians lose their lives. The British government realizes that it urgently needs help. It decides to bring together the best minds in the country: mathematicians, linguists, chess masters, and cryptologists. Their goal, to break the Enigma code and turn the tide of war. And this is where a young mathematician steps into the spotlight: Alan Turing. His extraordinary logical thinking and visionary ideas make him the perfect choice for this almost impossible task. Turing is summoned to Bletchley Park, a secret estate in the heart of England. There, together with a small team of geniuses, he is tasked with attempting the seemingly impossible: cracking the code that could decide the course of the war. What no one suspects is that Turing's work will not only shorten the war, it will change the world forever. Bletchley Park, an inconspicuous estate in the British countryside, kept strictly secret. From the outside, it looks like a peaceful country estate, but inside there is a feverish atmosphere. Bletchley Park, an inconspicuous estate in the British countryside that is kept strictly secret. From the outside, it looks like a peaceful country estate, but inside, a feverish race against time is underway. The best minds in Britain work here: mathematicians, chess masters, linguists, and crypto experts. Their goal is clear: to crack the Enigma code and thus shorten the war. But the Nazis make it almost impossible for them. Every single day, the settings of the Enigma are changed, resulting in millions of new combinations. If the code breakers don't succeed in time, their results are useless, and thousands of soldiers and civilians die outside. Every day without success means more deaths, more destroyed cities, more lost ships. Alan Turing quickly realizes that humans alone can never be up to this task. The problem is simply too big, too complex, and too time-critical. So he thinks completely outside the box and takes a revolutionary step. He decides to build a machine that systematically tries all possible settings of the Enigma, faster than any human could. He calls this machine the bomb. Turing works day and night on this project for months. The team is under enormous pressure because while they are tinkering away, ships are being sunk and battles lost outside. Nerves are on edge. Time is running out mercilessly. And then, finally, the breakthrough. The bomb delivers the decisive code. For the very first time, the Allies can read the Nazis' secret radio messages. Suddenly, they know when and where attacks will take place. It is a turning point in the war. Triggered by Alan Turing's unshakable "it is a turning point in the war." Triggered by Alan Turing's unwavering will and his ingenious invention. With the breakthrough at Bletchley Park, everything changes. Suddenly, the Allies can read the Nazis' encrypted messages. A tremendous advantage that no one could have imagined before. The German submarines, which had previously sunk ships undetected, are now being monitored. Thanks to Turing's work, the Allies can steer their convoys along safe routes, and thus keep vital supply lines open. Thousands of soldiers who would previously have lost their lives in the icy waters of the Atlantic survive. But Turing's decryption has an impact not only at sea. The Allies can now also anticipate the Wehrmacht's troop movements and tailor their own strategies accordingly. Secret plans that were previously inscrutable are suddenly laid bare on the table. Every decrypted message means that attacks can be repelled, ambushes prevented, or battles won. Experts estimate that this information advantage shortened the war by a full 2 years. 2 years less bombing, 2 years less bloodshed, 2 years in which millions of people did not have to die. This figure alone makes it clear how great Turing's contribution really was. But the amazing thing is that the world knows nothing about it. Bletchley Park and everything that happens there remains top secret. Even the people who work side by side with Turing are not allowed to talk about it, not even with their families. While the world outside cheers when a battle is won, Turing and his team remain in the shadows. Their greatest achievement, which changed the course of history, remains hidden. And Turing himself remains an unknown hero. After the war, Alan Turing should have been celebrated as a hero. His work had saved millions of lives and decisively shortened World War II. Without him, world history might have taken a very different course, but instead of fame and gratitude, Turing encounters prejudice and rejection. Because in Great Britain at that time, homosexuality was not only frowned upon, but a punishable crime. When it becomes known that Turing loves men, he is not honored, he is charged. Instead of protecting him, the state treats him like a criminal. He is given the choice between a prison sentence or hormone treatment, designed to suppress his sexuality. Turing opts for the treatment, but the consequences are devastating. His body changes, he suffers from depression, and his career is destroyed. The government he once helped win the war turns its back on him. On June 7, 1954, Alan Turing is found dead in his home. Next to him is a bitten apple. He is only 41 years old. To this day, there is still debate as to whether it was an accident or suicide. It is not until decades later that the world recognizes his genius. Alan Turing saw a world that did not yet exist. At a time when computers were only a theoretical idea, he recognized their incredible potential. His visions and groundbreaking work laid the foundation for the technology that shapes our everyday lives today, from smartphones and computers to artificial intelligence. But during his lifetime, he was denied recognition. The world he had saved forgot him, or wanted to forget him. It was only decades after his death that historians, scientists, and politicians began to publicly acknowledge his achievements. In 2013, Alan Turing finally received an official pardon from the British government, a symbolic act that came far too late but was intended to restore his reputation. Today, Turing is not only considered a war hero but also the father of modern computer science. Without his ideas and courage, our computers, the internet, and artificial intelligence as we know them would be inconceivable. Alan Turing reminds us that even a single person, with courage, intellect, and determination, can change the course of history. His life is proof that genius often works in secret, but its traces remain forever.